Good evening, Castlers. Eladefo7 here again to bring you Let's Castle action. But before I do, if you're an avid handball player, protect your hands at all times with wall ball toast gloves. This is as good as it gets, people. For more information, click the link in the description. Also, don't forget to hit the like button, leave a comment, subscribe, in addition to clicking on the bell icon, which will notify you when the latest Let's Castle video will be available. Now let's get to the game. This was a daily time control game that took place in the second round of the Team Match Championship League. The teams facing each other were Let's Castle versus Pak Chess Club. The game featured Falipon from Greece, representing Pak Chess Club, who had the white pieces, against our very own Alexen THC from Brazil, representing Let's Castle, who had black. The game was completed on February 21st. Let's see what happened here. Falipon started out with pawn to e4, and Alex countered with pawn to e5. Pawn to f4 is the king's gambit. Falipon is weakening his king side to attack the e5 pawn quickly so he can develop his knight to the f3 square. E takes f4, Alex accepts the gambit. Knight to f3, pawn to g5, bishop c4, pawn to d6. These are all book moves, by the way. Book moves, for those who don't know, are moves that are considered standard or conventional. They've been studied, tried, and tested. Pawn to h4, Falipon threatening to win material with the knight and pawn attacking the g5 pawn, while it's only defended once by the queen on d8. Alexen plays bishop to g4, pinning the knight to the queen. Pawn to d4. Alexen captures the pawn on h4, and Falipon captures the free pawn on f4. Equal trade. Knight to f6 attacks the unguarded f4 pawn, and knight c3 guards it. You then get knight b to d7, queen to d3, queen to e7, queenside castle from white, and queenside castle from black. Queen to e3, knight b6 attacks white's light squared bishop. Bishop b3 brings it to safety. Alexen plays bishop to g7, rook e to d1, king to b8. Falipon snatches a free pawn on h4. Alexen pulls his bishop back to d7. Bishop to g5 pins the knight to Alexen's queen. Alexen then played rook d to e8, which Stockfish did not like. The engine didn't like this. It preferred the move pawn to h6, kicking the bishop away. And as you can see, the eval bars, well, it's going back and forth between 1 and even 0, as opposed to the move he played. Now you're almost pushing it up to 2. He's down by 2 points. So pushing the pawn to h6, kicking the bishop away, was the better move. But then a weird thing happened. After Alexen played rook e to d8, Falipon simply resigned with a winning position, according to the eval bar. The eval bar had Alexen trailing by 2.4 points. So this was game 2 of 2. Alexen actually lost via timeout in the first game. So he achieved retribution, but it's puzzling as to why Falipon would resign with a winning position. Nonetheless, a win is a win, and that earned Let's Castle a point. The score in round 2, let's get to the scoreboard, is currently 9.5 to 7.5, with only one game remaining, this means Let's Castle has clinched a round 2 victory. Great job from YDTD, some guy who looks like Don King, Slam 20, G Strong 100, and Alexen THC. You all deserve a round of applause for bringing home the team victory. Some notable performances included Rock Dorn and DLH 7075, who achieved sweeps in their matches, winning both games. And last but not least, P. Stoddard, who provided the game winner that clinched a round 2 victory for Let's Castle. He won via resignation. That's going to do it for this podcast this evening. I'm Eladefo7 saying stay tuned, and I'll see you soon.